right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men who taught me this truth. I would like to say shalom to you, Akim, and you, Fuakwath, you men, women, and little ones that believe on the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. It's your brother Michael Allah coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, Lord willing to edify. And the title of this lesson is America's Future is Destruction. You see, America's future is destruction. You see, because as we see, as we often speak about, is prophecy, and we speak about what prophecy entails. And one of the main prophecies, other than Jacob's trouble and the MOTB being established, the ultimate prophecy is destruction upon America and the return of our Lord Yahweh Shah. You see? And that's what's recorded in the scriptures. You see? And this should be a comforting / fearful message unto you listeners out there. You see? And it may seem far-fetched to some of you people. We got, you business as usual Americans, you still saying peace and safety. You Americans talk about God bless America. But look at the state that America is in. You see? America is at an all-time low. It's losing its lust, as we often speak about. And really, this place just needs to be destroyed, considering all the wickedness that is promoted over here in the first place, man. But let's go here. We're going to start off right here. 1 Thessalonians 5. And we're going to start at the top, verse 1. It says, let me make sure this, okay. It's 1 Thessalonians 5:1. It says, but other times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. You see? So, of the times and seasons, we're occupied in prophecy. So we're not ignorant of the times that we're in. We're not ignorant concerning, the plans of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah concerning, this current rulership, concerning Esau, Edom, and all you inhabitants, all you people that ultimately dwell here, all of you people that want to see this place continue, you people don't have a problem with nothing that's promoted here, But stick it to the point, we're not ignorant. You people are ignorant. You people don't believe that this place is going to be destroyed. But that's why it's a separation. It says for yourselves know perfectly, because we've been fully persuaded through the report that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah has sent down, to the prophets, man. Starting with our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And with that report, that brings a form of comfort to your soul, man. And we know that the Lord is coming, quickly. The Lord is not tarrying. You see? But you people out there, you think that the Lord is tarrying. And he's not. You're not watching. You know, this place is so-called God-fearing, you know, Americans. You think you so God-fearing. But you really don't fear the Lord, man. Everybody think that the return of the God of the Bible is just, you know, some warm feeling in your stomach. And you think the Lord is going to come with open arms. No, the Lord is coming with destruction. You see? And as we're going to show you how Yahweh Shema Shai is going to visit this place. And it's going to be with pure destruction by the way of those thermonuclear missiles. See, those missiles weren't created for no reason, man. They were created so the will of the Lord, you know, could be established. Those missiles were created so this place, America, can be destroyed. That's why you got all type of hypersonic missiles, under the radar missiles that can't be detected. And some of these other countries like Iran, Russia, you know, they're going to take hand, as well as other countries, they're going to take part in destroying this place. But that all goes back to the plans of Yahweh Shema Shai. So we know, it says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. It's not going to come. The Lord's not going to come as a thief in the night unto us because we're watching. We're measuring the times diligently in itself. We're hearing the wars and rumors of wars. We're seeing the commotions in the earth. We're taking heed to the signs that the Lord is showing. We're seeing the signs in the heavens, different chariot signs, different signs in the moon, signs in the sun. But you people aren't paying attention to those things. Mainly you jakes out there. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. You see, so you people, you average Americans are saying peace and safety. You jakes out there, you know, of the tribes, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you saying peace and safety. You trying to get your career established here, you know. You're trying to forward yourself in this society instead of being in the spirit of hastening the coming of the Lord, man. And that's why when prophecy begins to unfold, you know, at its fullness, it's going to catch you people off guard. You see? It says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. See, you people, you know, that don't have this truth, you Israelites out there that don't have this truth, even you Israelites that's in these other camps, you're still in darkness. You know, you trying to set up an Israelite business, you know. You trying to travel the world, go jet setting. Instead of hastening the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai. And that's why that day is going to catch you people as a thief. Let's go here. It's Proverbs 19 and verse 21. It says, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, that shall stand. You see? And what does the counsel or plans of the Lord consist of? the destruction of this place. We often speak about the destruction of this place because we know that the Lord's words don't return unto him void. So the Lord has to destroy this place because he said it. It's written. He didn't have the prophets to write these visions for no reason. No. His words don't return unto him void, man. But the plans or the mindsets of you people out there, you think that America's the end all be all, you know. You think things are going to bounce back. You people are going to depend more on Trump. Do you think he's going to stop war from taking place? Because he proclaimed that at one point in time. He said it. Trying to make peace. But what did the Lord say? What did Yahweh Shema Shah say? The Lord said his counsel is going to stand. You see? His counsel is going to stand. So it don't matter what man say. We go back to what the scriptures say. This Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 1, it says, to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens. And I'm going to jump down and get straight to the point. Verse 8, it says, matter of fact, start at verse 7. It says a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silent and a time to speak. See, we're in a time where these prophecies are being spoken. The prophets are still out on the highways and byways. And we're not holding our peace day nor night. This the time where the Lord is speaking. Saying what he's going to do. Through his men. You know. It says a time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. See, we're in the time of these heathen nations beginning to hate the whore. And the main face is Russia, you know. Because Russia hates America. Little Putin hate America, man. The weak are saying that they're strong. No one's longer, nobody's scared of America as they used to be, you know. And everybody is girding themselves up. The Lord is putting the spirit on these heathens to gird themselves up for war, just so prophecy can be fulfilled. That's why a couple years back, the great river Euphrates is drying up. Why? To prepare the nations for war. To ultimately come against the whore and eventually come against our Lord Yahweh Shah. But sticking to the point, just showing we're in the time of war. We're not in the time of peace. You see, Lil Poot is constantly flexing his armory. He's constantly flexing those missiles. But he's not just doing that for no reason, man. These are the instruments of the Lord, man. This Isaiah 54 and verse 16, it says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And what is this concerning? This is concerning those missiles. Just like in ancient times, you had certain blacksmiths, you know, certain men, you know, that would create certain weaponry for war. That was Yahweh Shema Shah putting the spirit on them to create these different spears, javelins, you know, swords, bow and arrows, all these different weapons just to be used for war. Because the Lord is a man of war. You see? In today's age, those instruments have increased. to a hypersonic missile, you see, that could destroy, that will destroy the whole landmass of America. It said, and the Lord is taking credit for this. That's why the Lord is saying, I have created the smith that blow up the coals. I created the instrument for his work. Remember, for his work. We just read in Proverbs that the counsel, meaning the plans of the Lord, that shall stand. So yeah, you can see all these different peace treaties, peace talk, shaking hands. That's all in vain, because at the end of the day, the counsel of the Lord entails this place being destroyed, man. It says, and I have created the waster to destroy. You see? Let's go here. It's Isaiah 13. And I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord Yahweh Shema Washah of hosts, muster of the host of the battle. You see? So it's the Lord that's stirring these things up, like I just mentioned, having these heathen nations together, you know, over there in the Middle East, you know. Why? For war. For the war Armageddon, where Yahweh Shema Washah's judgment is going to be made manifest, and where eventually, you know, these nations, you know, are going to start shooting missiles over here to America. But it's the Lord that is controlling all this, because the mind of a king is in the hands of the Lord, you know. It says they come from a far country, meaning these missiles. From the end of heaven, even the Lord Yahweh Shema Washah, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. You see? So these missiles are the weapons of the Lord for his righteous anger. And it's a reason for these missiles. He just told us the reason through the prophet Isaiah is to destroy the whole land. The whole land of what? America. How ye? For the day of Yahweh Shema Washah is at hand. See, that day is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. It says, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed at one another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of Yahweh Shema Washah cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger. See, like I said earlier, the Lord is not coming back. Yahweh Shah said, think not that he's coming to send peace on the earth. So why is it in the minds of you people that the God of the Bible is coming back with open arms, you know, and giving out hugs and kisses, man? When he just said that he's coming back with wrath and fierce anger to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it, man. You know, we know that the sins of this place reach to the heavens. So the Lord is more than justified than destroying this place, as well as all you people that dwell here, man. And we don't want no parts of it. That's why, of course, we pushing forth, you know, the destruction, but we're also pushing forth deliverance as well by the way of those chariots, which are the vehicles of Yahweh Shema Washah to save his elect from the incoming destruction, man. You see? Let's get this. This Revelations 18 and verse 1, it says, well, matter of fact, let's go here. I'm gonna jump around in here. This man. Yep. I'm gonna start at 5. This Revelations 18 and 5, because I mentioned that the sins of this place reached to the heavens. Revelations 18 and 5, it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Exactly. America has accumulated a lot of iniquity throughout the years. You see? America, it's a lot of Israelite bloodshed on the soils of America. And this place has to be cleansed from that blood through destruction. You see? So you know it's a lot of sins and iniquities stacked up. If the God of the Bible, you know, has to step in, man. As we speak, Esau Edom is committing all types of you know, demonic acts, man, against the Lord's chosen people. And that's another reason why this place is going to be destroyed, because, you know, Esau has touched the apple of the Lord's eye, you know, as well as you heathen nations, you know, because in some form or fashion, you've capitalized off the backs of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You help hide our inheritance from us, you know. You didn't tell us that we were the Lord's chosen people, according to the Bible. You people went along with these proverbs and bywords that Esau Edom, through his deception, has put forth. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself. So payback is coming, you know. And the ultimate payback is going to be that destruction, man, through fire. It says, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's the mindsets of you people. That's that God bless America mindset. That's that America's going to continue forever mindset. You see? You people live deliciously. You people live without care, but you catch so much hell here, man. You people think that ain't no harm gonna come to America. Even you Jakes out there, you have that same mindset. You feel like America's not gonna see no sorrow, because if you did, you would be returning back into your power, seeking refuge, man, seeking mercy and forgiveness, man. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahweh Shema Shah power who judgeth her. Exactly. And that's what's coming in one day. Remember, it's going to take 1 hour for the Lord to destroy this place. It's not going to take a month, you know. It's going to take 1 hour. And the Lord gave us the list of his plans that he have in store for the great whore. He gave us a order to how he's going to do it, man. He's already doing it now. The plagues have been sent forth now. But the big plague, so to speak, the major plague, is this whore being burnt with fire, man. And the Lord is getting the credit for doing it. That's why I said after the destruction of America, for strong is Yahweh Shai power who judgeth her. And we know that the Lord is known by the judgments that he execute. And that's how Yahweh Shai, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of the Israelites, that's how the Lord is going to get his fame back in the earth again, man. Just like during the time of Noah. Because once the Lord destroys America, it ain't going to be no worshiping no other gods after that, man. It ain't going to be no giving no credit to Mother Nature, man. Everybody's going to know that Yahweh Shai destroyed this place. But Lord willing, that was edifying. Matter of fact, let me get this right here. For the elect to bring some balance in this same chapter, jumping up to the 4th verse, Revelations 18:4, it says, and I heard another voice in heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Now keep in mind, this is a vision that John the Revelator is seeing. John the Revelator is seeing the destruction of America. So that means this is already taking place. You see? This is already taking place. Let's prove that. Jumping up to the 1st verse, it says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great, aka America, is fallen. And this is what the angel was proclaiming during this vision. Babylon the Great is fallen. It is fallen and is become the habitation of devils and the whole of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. You see? So America's already been destroyed, man. Babylon is fallen. It has fallen. You see? This place is already finished. It's already destroyed. That's what brings comfort to the spirits of the elect, man. So it ain't gonna be no 50 more years of this shit. It ain't gonna be no, you know what I mean? America doesn't have a extended period of time to rule, man. Because this place is being cut short. But as for the elect, going down to the 4th verse, it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. You see? And that's concerning the deliverance of the elect from this destruction. You see? By the way of those chariots, man. Which you people ignorantly call UFOs or UAPs. That great fathership that Yahweh Shai is going to return on to deliver his elect, man. Where you people are going to witness, Lord willing, we are that number, us get beamed up, you know, and delivered by our Lord. And you people that trusted in America, you're going to be left here and you're going to melt, man. But Lord willing, that was edifying. I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the man who taught me this truth. Peace and blessings be to the hopeful elect, you men, women, and little ones that believe on the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.